Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video we are going to be reviewing the books I read in December. It's going to be a short video. I only read 2 books. I was moving, my books were like boxed up for weeks, so can't blame you really. So the first book I read was called Blood Red Road by Maria, I think it's meant to be, Young. I got it from charity shop for 50p. I'm going to read you Blood and then I'm going to tell you a bit about it. So, in the Dustlands, you fight or you die. There are no laws in Saba's world. When a twin brother is stolen, she pursues his captors through a wild, wasted land. She must become a warrior to survive, but on this dangerous road she can trust no one, not even the handsome thief who saves her and steals her heart. So, it's kind of based, it's called Record, it was based during the Records time. So basically, the world just went kind of thing. Like everything that was technology died and it's just a wasteland now, and yeah. It does say it will satisfy the cravings of Hunger Games fans. Don't really admit that. It is a good book. I'd probably give this an 8 out of 10, maybe a 7 out of 10. But yeah, it's based in during a time where technology doesn't exist anymore. It's all been destroyed. And Saba and her brother were born on Midsummer's Night. Her brother, I've got my notes because I can't remember it. Her brother, it's so bad. I can't remember it, but I can't remember it, if that makes sense. So her brother gets taken away, and she promises that she will rescue him. So she decides to follow him and try to rescue him. Her sister is 9 and called Emmy, and she ends up tagging along, and there's a bit of hair for me, and it causes some issues, but you know. They get captured half on like a desert land, and Saba is then forced to work in a be a cage fighter to survive, and she gets the nickname Angel of Death. Before this, she meets someone that helped her was meant to help her mum give birth to her, and what belonged to her mum was a stone called the Hearthstone, and it warms when you're near your heart's desires, and she keeps that with her, and it keeps getting warm when she goes near this guy called Jack, who's also meant to just become a cage fighter. She never dies, which is why she gets the Angel of Death. There's a king who wants to sacrifice her brother, who's called Lou, because apparently if you sacrifice an 18-year-old boy that was born on Midsummer's Night, he'll gain like powers or something and becomes younger or something like that. People called the Freedom Hawks help Saba escape the cage, and then they work together to get her brother back. It is a good book. It took me a while to get into though, because I found it really hard to read, because it's meant to be set when they don't have like proper English and grammar and everything, and it's so like just how it's spelt and how things are spelt and words and that, it drove me crazy trying to read it. So like the very beginning, like this part, the day's hot, so hot and so dry that all I can taste in my mouth is dust. The kind of white heat day when you can hear the earth crack. We ain't had a drop of rain for near 6 months now. So that's just how things are. So 4 is F-E-R and is ain't instead of haven't, and it's like instead of and it's so an, and it's just, it goes through like so, and it's so like, I know it's meant to be poorly written because it's meant to be like how she's thinking, and she's like meant to be narrating it, Saba is, but it's just, it drives me crazy. It really does. I really struggled to get into it, but once I got into it I really enjoyed it, and I did find it's nothing like the Hunger Games, so I don't get why they say it'll satisfy cravings, but it is a good book, which is why I give it 7 out of 10. I'm not going to say too much more about it, which probably doesn't help you think if you want to get it or not, because I probably didn't tell you much, but if I get in too much detail you will know what happens, and then it kind of ruins it for you guys, so I'm not going to do that. But it was a good book. I do recommend it if you will be able to get through past the bad grammar and everything, and if you just like a little bit of an adventurous kind of book with a slight bit of romance. So there you go. Oh, it's time for me to take my alarms. My alarm is to let me know that I've got to take my medication, but I haven't got any, so oh well. Okay, and the next one is called The Little Christmas Kitchen by Jenny Oliver. This was £1 from a charity shop again, and I'm going to get my little memo up so I can tell you a bit about it. And I will read you the blurb first. So Ella Davenport is turning her world upside down. She's ditching her cheating ex, swapping Kanabi why can't I, London for Corfu and heading back to the bustling family restaurant of her childhood. But returning home won't be as easy as she thought. Meanwhile, her sister Maddie has always loved a quiet piece of island life, but now she's longing to escape. So when Ella arrives to Corfu, she jumps at the chance to trade places, and soon she'll explore the snowy streets of London in search of her own adventure. But thousands of miles apart and struggling to adjust to their new lives, Ella and Maddie are about to find out all they want for Christmas is each other. Now, this one's a bit of an interesting one, because the blurb says that all they want is each other. They do kind of, like, become sisters again, but it's not... It's all right. So, basically, Ella lives in London and doesn't get along with her mum and sister who are in Corfu, and she feels that her mum deserted her and they sent her away, and then she's like her dad who lives in like looked after her when she was younger, basically. So it's basically she feels like her mum chose Maddie, so her dad helped look after Ella, and next Ella got always pushed to boarding school and everything, and Ella was a bit jealous. So Ella develops her relationship again with her mum, and slowly, I guess her sister in a way, but not, if that makes sense. It's mainly about her and her mum developing the relationship, and then her and her sister just kind of like, yeah, okay, we'll be friends again, kind of thing. So I don't really get why it's like all they want for Christmas is them. Ella also slowly gains a relationship with the guy that she had a crush on when she was 15, but she was so embarrassed about, and it's very slow that they hate each other, but then they don't hate each other, they like each other, and in the end they get together. So there is a bit of romance in this. I kind of feel like the romance is more than the sister part. And then Maddie goes to London to pursue swinging. She wants to be a singer. She works in a bar. She comes across her dad, and then her and her dad develop a relationship again, and her dad's new lady kind of accepts Maddie as well. So Maddie grows up as a character and develops as a person, basically, whereas Ella develops as well by becoming less uptight and relaxes a little bit, and develop like her relationship with her mum. So it's more about the children getting relationships back with the other parent more than the girls becoming sisters again, if that makes sense. It is a good book. I read this in 2 days. I pretty much read the whole thing in the night. I think I read that in one evening, because I got to a stage where I just couldn't put it down. I really love these sort of books because they're such an easy to read book, and I didn't know, yeah, I just love them. There's something about the romance. I love like the romance part of them all, because it's so predictable. You know the girl and the guy are always going to get together, but it's something like, I don't know, I like it. I like romance. I'm a sucker for romance. Like, romance is totally the way to woo me. I'm a huge sucker for romance, but it's a good book. It's a happy book, and it does have a little bit of drama with like the families and that as well in it. So I do recommend it if you want an easy to read book. Maybe not read it now. If you were going to read it at Christmas time, because it kind of gives you a bit of a Christmassy spirit, because it like talks about the snow and the Christmas, and they're celebrating Christmas, and then it kind of helps you get in the Christmassy mood, which did help me quite a bit. So maybe read it again next Christmas. So I actually brought this last year. I think I got it in like the summer. No, I think I got it January, I think, around January time in 2019, and then I read it December 2019 because I was saving it to read at Christmas. So yeah, it's a good book. I enjoyed it. I think I'd give this one probably I think this one's an 8 out of 10, and this one's a 7 out of 10, I think. But there you go. If there's any books you recommend me reading, let me know in the comments below. I'm going to continue doing my monthly book reviews because I have got a new challenge. Yeah, my challenge for 2019 was to read 104 books. I failed. I read 72 books, which is still pretty cool. I kind of like got too busy from October onwards and I just screwed up. But even then, I don't think I would have got 104 books. But I have set myself a challenge for 2020 to read 100 books. I've got loads, and I mean loads of books upstairs. I might show you a quick, at the end of this video, I might put a little snippet in to show you guys just how many books I've got left to read. So I've got plenty to read and get me going. But I do read quite thick books at the moment and everything, so maybe that's why I'm a bit slacking. But if there is a book that you've got a favourite book and you think I would like it, enjoy it, let me know in the comments below, and I will get that book and I will read it, and then I will let you guys know what I think, because I am a huge book freak. I love books. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and that's everything I've got to say. I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is. I hope you have been smiling, because that's the most important thing, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!